So yeah, just to go back, you need to log in using the SFTP, right? SFTP ://SIT. You need to use your student name, student number, not mark, student number, and then the password will be either whatever you're doing in your Linux class, or it will be the password that I gave you. Now, in the worksheet that I gave you for today's exercise, there's instructions there to access Linux directly and change your password if you want to, using SSH. So do that if you want to. You can change your password. But if you don't have the, if you don't have the public,
okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, I was saying in my remote site, I made I made another directory, but I don't know where it went. And when I click on it, it disappears. It erases everything.
Okay, well, I'm not there. I can't really see it. But are you sure you don't have a public underscore HTML? I'm going to delete this now because I don't really want that there. So, but I mean, I was just showing you that because that you will need it. I mean, and I showed you that because this has happened a lot in classes in the past. Students have deleted by sort of randomly, you know, inadvertently, by mistake, they've deleted this folder. And then the problem is then that we can't see any of their work. And we want to see their work, right? So, yeah. I'm highlighting Mark. You should be highlighting the thing that says your student number. Can you see that, Bushra? I mean, you could.
I'm looking for my student number.
That's the folder where you want to put the public HTML. And just, yeah, it's got to be public underscore HTML. And then everything that you do in this course, you're going to upload into it. So that's how all these folders that you see here, last lesson, I uploaded this CO3, my site. Maybe you remember me doing that. But that's uploaded there. And how I uploaded it was I went and I found it on my desktop, I think. And from the desktop, well, wherever I found it from, I uploaded it from there. Got a lot of stuff on there. And yeah.
Okay, I see my folder with my student ID, but it has other stuff in my Linux. And
yeah, that's fine. You just need to make a new folder under your student ID, which is public underscore HTML. And then you can put all your work in that.
So create a directory and enter it, or just create directory?
Just, yeah, I think just create is fine.
Because I tried the first one.
Wouldn't matter if you created and entered it. I think I can do that. So I'll do that just to see. Okay, so my new directory is going to be public underscore HTML3. All right. Don't you put any numbers on it, right? You just need to have public underscore HTML. I'm not doing public underscore HTML because I already have it, right? And so this is supposed to.
Where did it go when you push enter? How come it's not visible anymore?
I don't know. Mine is. So I really don't know. I can't really see what you're doing. But yeah, you should end up with a folder, and then then you can move stuff into it. That's kind of the exercise for today. It's good we're talking about this because for the rest of the students, that's kind of what it is that we need to get today, is that all of us are able to use that. So I got some comments. Who the admin of the WhatsApp group? Noor. I'm having trouble connecting to server on FileZilla. Iman, yes. Yeah, okay, Hazem. So if you're having trouble connecting to the server, there could be so many reasons, right? If you are, it could be because you have the wrong password. and you saw that. Now I think Bushra's in now, but he wasn't able to get in at first because he was using the new password, which I gave last week, which we were assuming that in my giving that to you, I was assuming that this was your first use of the SIT server. But if you are already using the SIT server for your Linux class, then you've already got a password that's associated with your account, your student number. And so you couldn't log in with another password. You'd have to use the password that you've already got. So
I'm now, and I found the public HTML. It's an empty directory.
that's fine. That's where you're going to put all your stuff. Okay. So next time, so see how I've highlighted the public.html directory now? So next time I do some work, let's say I'm doing some work here, and this is just an example. And I got to find something nice and small over here. Oh, well, I got this caffeine thing, right? Suppose I'm working on this caffeine and I say, okay, I'm done on caffeine. I want to put it onto my server. So I look up here and I see that my server is highlighted. Go back to my caffeine. I can right click on there and go upload. Boom. Caffeine goes up to the server. Now I can, if I go to my, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up a browser to show how this is working. Problem is that Zoom is in the way. It's always in the way. It's like a freaking virus, right? No, we love Zoom. All right, so I go into my browser and I'm going to go to the SIT server because I can browse to the SIT server. And if I browse to the SIT server, I see that there's some information on their page, which everybody can use. You know, that's for all students to download stuff. But I want to see what's on my part of the server. So I'd use the tilde and then my student number, or in my case, I just use my name because that's my account. And there I have now the thing that I just uploaded, which is the caffeine. Okay. By the way, yeah, caffeine is just a little program that stops your computer from timing out. So you have to log in again. You'd guess that from the name caffeine, right? Okay, but I don't take Linux. Okay, if you don't take Linux and it still won't let you in, then we have a problem. Okay, so I will make a note of that. And those people that don't take Linux and still can't get in, can you send me by WhatsApp or here your student number, and I'll check it with Robert afterwards, because that would mean there's a problem with your account. So who's that? That's Shema. And okay, so we got a few people here, Shema and Iman.
Excuse me, sir. Can you explain more about what do you mean by like taking Linux?
Okay, there's a
It's
class. But I can't remember the exact number of the class, but it's like 23.
1520.
Yeah, 1520 is
like
this
it's a
class.
go.
Yeah, it's a class here. Linux is the topic, or Linux is a software, but it's also a topic for a class. And so
Oh, I'm sorry, 2510. CR 2510.
thank you, Bushra. So,
1520 is this class.
right. So 2510, if you're doing that class, you would have already been assigned a Linux password, and then that password would override anything that we're doing with passwords here. So we don't want that. And so that's why I ask you if when I said, are you doing Linux? What I meant is, are you enrolled in the 2510 class that Bushra just mentioned? Because if you are, then you've already been assigned a password. Does that make sense? And it's that password that you have to use, not the one that I just gave here. And when I say just gave, I gave it last week. So it's not, yeah. not exactly just gave. Any other questions on that? I mean, that's kind of what I'm asking you to do today is really just get up on this server. And so I'm going to go away in a few minutes and just get these people. All you people really can't get on the server? That's a lot. I mean, people putting the numbers up, that's because you can't get on the server, right? Wow. That's not good. All right. You can't get on the server. That's not cool.
Sir, why can't we? Why can't
to add file?
Two people talking at the same time. I couldn't get that.
Sorry.
Now, can you show us how to add file in the server?
How to what?
Add file. Add the index file.
All right. Okay, so let me do it here for you. All right, so you see here, what you can still see my screen, I hope, right? And so in this, you're seeing index of mark, and that's all my files. This is actually looking inside the folder that's called public_HTML. So the question I think that you're asking me is how can we, and where are you, Falzilla? There you are. How can we put stuff into that folder? And so I just did that with caffeine. I'll remove caffeine so I can, you can download or delete it. I'll delete it because it's just rubbish anyways. So I hope this is what you meant, but what I think it is that you meant is how do I put an index file here? Okay, yes, you have to do that in your first exercise. So you would create an index file using this, what have I got here? Visual Studio Code. And so when you've saved it, so let's say this is my index file and I've saved it. This is it would have a whole bunch of links in it, right? A whole bunch of those A tags with hrefs in them that would point to other files later. Yeah, actually those A tags might be empty at the moment, but you'll be able to later put in all of these links to all the other files. I suppose I could do that now. Well, let me, well, let's just use this for now. And let's say, okay, so here's a link to some file that I've got here to, I don't know, what files have I got in my, on my folder? I think yeah, okay, this one here, because we did this one. So we could do a link to, there's an index file here. Yeah, okay, so link to CO3 my site. What I'll do is I'll make a link to it, and I'll put this index file up on the server, right? So let's do that now. Let's go back to Visual Studio thing. So I'm going to have my link to the CO3 site. And so now that's going to be an A link, right? You guys have done this, right? href, right? Equal. And then where that is, it's from the current directory into the CO3 underscore my site. I think it's like that. If I get the spelling even a little bit wrong, things will be bad, but you know, so I think it's like that. And then it's index.html. And hopefully that's right. And I could
Close it.
yeah, and so I'd say here CO3 site or something. And let's see, Control S, save that.
You need to close it, sir.
Close it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think I closed the A tag there, didn't I?
Okay, yeah.
All right, so I think that's okay. It's kind of bad looking, but let's you know, in the interest of time. So I've saved this somewhere where I can find it. Save as. I'll put it in the desktop. Yeah, I'll put it in the desktop. It's called Practice 1 HTML. Actually, I should save it as index. And it's in the desktop, right? So now if I go here to my, to this, if I can find do you guys remember where the, desktop is? I think it's under users, right? I think it, okay. Markup and a
Can it be under my computer?
Is it under my computer? Oh, there it is. See?
Oh.
Got it. Desktop. And what did I call it? So let's see if we can see
Index.
Index, but it should be, why can't I see it? I thought I just saved it. Can you see it there?
Can it be on your desktop?
Yeah, I thought I saved it there. Let me just save it again. Make sure. Save as. And where? I bet I didn't save it. Yeah, it says desktop.
Oh.
Excuse me, sir. Just save it in practice exercise 1.
Sorry? There it is.
I'm saying just save it in practice exercise 1 because that folder is already there open in FileZilla.
Okay, thank you. So I will do that. And there it is. Okay. So you say that's open in FileZilla. Practice exercise 1. So it is.
Oh.
Okay, so there's the files. Okay, so the files are down there. So yeah, I can take that file index now and I can right click. Okay, before I do that, I need to make sure that I have the target selected. So I select the public underscore HTML, and then I'm going to go here and right click and upload it. And so now there should be an index.html in there. And we don't see it, but what we're going to do is we're going to now go to our browser. I think it's this one. No, I think it's the other browser. Hold on. Doesn't matter. Yeah, we're in this. Okay. And that should, yeah. So do you see now it's loading up that page? This is actually the index. And remember I said I'd put a link to the CO site when the link is wrong, because there was a good chance of that, right? But this, I have index, and it is, so when I navigate to Mark, to my folder, it automatically opens up that index HTML, which is straight underneath the root. And that's not quite right. I need to edit it. I need to fix it a bit because the link is not exactly right. So I'd have to look here and see, well, what is wrong with that link? Ah, well, yeah, okay. So I probably spelt that link wrong. So if I go back here and go to the editor that I was using, which is this one, yeah, I don't know if it's case sensitive, possibly. My site index.html CO3 site. And so I'm going to save that. Case sensitive, who knew? All right. So I've saved that again so I can upload it again. And so yes, I do want to overwrite, and I'm always going to overwrite. And then if I go back to my browser, was this one, right? And hold on. So that's the file. And hoping, yes. So it is case sensitive. And so there's that, remember that website? So I've actually published that website to the internet. Now, any of you could do what I've just done now. When I say what I've just done, you could navigate to this site and look at it. It's public. That's why it's in the public thing, you know.
So
So you could see the same as I'm doing. And when you upload your websites, we'll be able to do that with yours as well. Sorry, there's a question.
why the index HTML not visible in the files?
Yeah, that's strange, isn't it? We can't see it, but it is there, right? If it
Like
was,
I will put it, but I will not see it.
sorry,
I will put
noticed that too, is
the
that
index, but I can see it.
sorry, your question?
I will put the index HTML, but I
Yes,
can see it.
that's right. Put it there even though you can't see it. I guess it's there so that we don't mess about with, I mean, I guess it can't be seen because we've probably got a setting on it. You know what I mean? I'm sure that we could make it so that it was visible if we sat down and thought about it a bit. There's probably a read-only setting that we could set to it or something. There's a visibility, you know what I mean, in the permissions. Probably what's happened is FileZilla has set the permissions so that the index is not visible when it's in the root. I'm pretty sure that that's what's happened. So I that's probably a good thing because it is visible here on the local, and then we can upload it. So I think, yeah. Well, let's see. Well, we can't tell what's visible, and we can't see it here to see that it's not visible. But we've probably got a menu option in here that affects the visibility of that. All right. So I hope that sort of helps a little bit. Just to sort of review what we kind of did there is we did log in. I used my password from changing passwords. We got some students that are not able to log in yet, so we have to look at that. But the logging in was into the SIT server using SFTP. Now those people that couldn't log in, if any of these things were not working, you still wouldn't be able to log in, right? You have to have the right port, 2222. You have to have the right password. You have to have the right username, and you have to have the right host. And you have to use SFTP, and the host has to be complete like that. If all of those things are right, you see that you'll be able to log in. And then all of your work's going to be on public_HTML. If you're like some students, you might not have it. You'll have to add it yourself. And Busher was able to do that. So on the left is your source, in this case for uploads, which is going to be your C drive or D drive or whatever. It's going to be your PC. And on the right is the target on the server. Once you have uploaded things onto the server, you can use your browser and navigate to those items. And you see if you look at the URL here, you'll see that this is on the SIT server in the folder mark. And I've navigated to my site and to that page. That's all worked quite nicely.
Sir,